When I think in one thing for people, non-realtors to know, that when we price a house or we talk about this pricing strategy, we have to consider what the appraiser is going to come in at. So what I was saying is we have to know, because we do our market analysis based on the same things that the appraisers are going to look at. Mm-hmm. So we're not going to come up with a different number and then say, yeah, but we can go 25 grand over this, because we know that appraiser is going to come in and give you this same range.
Yeah. Yeah, especially when you consider the different aspects of the market. Like 3 or 4 years ago, right, when the market was burning hot, you could say we could price here and that's where the comps are. But if the price pushes up, or we could justify higher, appraisers may work with us because we're getting 6, 7, 10 offers on a property. That's not the situation anymore. So to your point, appraisers are going to be looking at these comps going, you know, I don't know if I want to make that leap, because it's their neck that's out there when they appraise the property higher than the comps. They'll give you some latitude, right? Especially if you have multiple offers. But, you know, a lot of times that doesn't happen in this market. So you've got some change. So that's step number 1, which is the market analysis and the pricing strategy. And don't forget, you have to pick a great realtor to interpret that raw data and really start dialing that in. Step 2, Shannon, coming to you, because you're really good at this, prepping the home for market. Now, people sleep on this step. They do.
Yeah.
I mean, they just want to go straight from, oh, I got a price, now I want to go to market. Why would you not want to skip or sleep on that step?
Well, it depends on, do you want every ounce of equity that you've earned in that house? Do you want to maximize what you're going to get on that house? And I think it's really important, the work that we do as far as doing professional photos and, you know, doing our homework and writing a good ad and making it look very presentable online. That's a part of our work that we have to do at that point. But the seller has some work to do there too, you know, and that may include, you know, cleaning your baseboards, and they include, you know, freshening up some landscape outside. There's a lot of things that sellers need to do. And a lot of times they want to bypass that. They don't think that's a big deal. They live in that house. They've never noticed that before. But if you notice, you walk into your house every day and you don't even see things. You don't see all the fingerprints on the walls and the light switch plates. When you go to somebody else's house, it's the first thing that you see.
Yeah.
And you have to understand that's their first impression when they come to that house. So those things are very important. It's very important to do that. Spring cleaning, tidying up, decluttering, all the stuff that we tell people to do. Very, very important, because you see your house one way, but other people are the ones that are looking at it, and they may not, you know, you understand that they're not buying those things, and that is true, but it does set the tone for their impression when they walk in the door. When they walk in the door and it's dirty and it's cluttered, you know, they don't want to live in that kind of a house, even though your stuff's going to be out of it. You know, they already feel that way when they walk in there. And once they've got that feeling, it doesn't feel like home. You want it to feel like home.
Yeah,
you want it to feel good.
There's a total different feeling when you walk up to a house and it's just completely buttoned up and everything's in order. You know, it doesn't look like anything's been neglected. And then you go into the house. That's your first stage. But if you walk up to a house and the landscaping's disheveled, you can tell the bushes haven't been trimmed in years. Some of the trim.
The realtor can't get in the front door because the lock is sticking. I always tell people that's the first impression. If they can't even get in the door, it already says you don't take care of things.
Yeah.
Just fix your lock before you put it on the market.
Yeah, because immediately, and we don't like to admit it. I mean,
all the time.
It's the funniest thing.
You jump in there. Well, and the realtor's
majority of homes are like that.
Yeah, many times I've had to look at a customer and say, "Can you get this?"
Yeah.
You know, like,
or you have to call the guy who's like, "Is there a trick?"
Yeah.
You have to bang on it or something.
Back the key out.
Pull the key out a little bit, wiggle it. You know. Then put some pressure on the door. Exactly. That doesn't start off well, because you automatically know if they can't even get in their own front door, they probably haven't taken care of the roof.
Yeah,
they probably have leaking windows. They haven't taken care of things.
Yeah. What other problems are going on?
Right.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And so that is a very relevant point right there. What about the pre-inspection, Paul?
I was gonna mention that. I think the apart from just maintaining the house or keeping it, you know, tidy, I think the bigger things, and I've always said this, there could be a plumbing leak. When a buyer goes in there, automatically money's coming off of the price. If you're asking $400,000, now you're at $395 just because they see a little bit a dripping faucet. It's going to cost $100 to fix, but there's $5,000 off the price.
That's so true, isn't it?
Yeah. So that pre-inspection is a good idea. It'll cost you a little bit of money, but at least you'll know the water heater is towards the end of its life. The roof needs some work. The furnace needs an adjustment. And those are things that you can do ahead of time, so that when the buyer gets there, they're not saying, okay, I have, they're taking a pencil to your price and you're getting a much lower price.
The buyer always wants more than what those things cost.
Yeah.
If you need a service on the heater and you know that you can call a heating company and for $200 have them come out, check it out, look it over, change the filters, clean it. Yeah, not a big deal. The buyer automatically in their thing, they need at least $500 to $1,000 because the heater needs service. So it is different. It puts you on offense instead of defense. That's how I've always looked at it. Instead of being on defense and trying to prove the value of your house after there's been a home inspection, when you know what your house value is worth, when you know the condition that it's in, then you're negotiating from a position of power as opposed to just playing defense.